Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 15th of April. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director at Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. This week we have Super Retail Group, Dexus, Lark Distillery, 4D Medical and Euro Manganese. So if you have any requests, send them through. Make sure you've signed up to the free newsletter, but most importantly our best tips come out every Tuesday in the Dynamic Investor, so ensure you're getting that report. If you do enjoy these videos though, we'd love you to share them on social media or even leave us a review on Facebook and Google. Our core business, however, is in portfolio management. So if you'd like to open a broking account with us and have me help you directly, then please let me know. And of course, all the advice here is general only. So we've got the daily chart here of SUL. So we could see, I guess right in the middle here in November, very negative price action here as it sort of fell away from the high, but it has been able to hold up pretty well since then. And I like what I'm seeing here, to be honest, this sort of further retesting of this previous high level here. So, you know, recovery here, sort of knocking on what now seems to be some obvious resistance here. So that's encouraging. I mean, it's too early to buy, but the longer it does this, the more chance it'll try to break through. So I'd wait for a break, a clear break beyond this range, and that would be the buy signal. Okay, Dexus. So another one that we could see, there's been some clear resistance forming just above $10. So, you know, in the last 12 months, can't really get through that level without being sold off. Most recently, it's made a nice sort of steady run back up there and is right at that level again. So, you know, it'd be interesting to see if it can break through. Ideally, what I'd prefer to see is a bit more of a consolidation now that it's up here. If you can just consolidate under that high just a little bit more, that should give it a better run. And then on the breakout, you could buy the breakout in anticipation of a rally, but I wouldn't buy it before a breakout because, as we saw here, nice consolidation under resistance, but instead of breaking out, it went the other way. So it'd be nice to see this sort of thing happen again, but then lead to an eventual breakout, and then you'd end up with a sustainable rally. Okay, LRK, Lark Distillery. So, yeah, pretty good move here over the last few months. So after this consolidation sideways, break higher on volume, that was the buy signal, and it's continued to rally higher, and volume's been pretty good on the way up. In terms of an entry point, I think it's a bit too risky here. We've got, you know, we're on the back of a big run, and you know, I'd prefer to see it sort of consolidate again. So if we could see, for example, something like this occur where it just consolidates the move sideways, then you end up with a safer entry point. Otherwise, I guess if in the short term, if it was to have a close above this high, you know, you could probably follow that with a tight stop as a very short term sort of move. But I think for something a bit more sustainable, I'd rather see it consolidate. Okay, 4DX. So we could see that in late March, it had this sort of nice rally here, and you know, there's a bit of volume coming in, but it did reject at obvious resistance. Has come back, and now we could see the rallies are getting sold into again. So, you know, putting in a couple of lower highs. So at the moment, in my opinion, it still looks weak. Even though it's close to a support level, I'd rather not be in it until I could see another sort of big reversal on volume, and then I'd follow it. But for now, it's just looking like it's still getting sold off. Okay, in EMN, so if we just zoom out a bit, we could see it's had this nice run, and then it's started to consolidate, but the consolidation doesn't seem to be over yet. You know, in mid-March, tried to rally, but these peaks were going to provide obvious resistance, and we could see it's tried a few times, but it's sort of rolling over. So yeah, look, I think this whole consolidation isn't over. The rounding out here, I think, is just a sign of weakness, and it may well come back. I'd rather not be in it until, quite clearly it can get up here and just get beyond all this selling, all these people selling. So yeah, I'd rather be out of it. It looks weak at the moment. If it can reverse and start trading up here, then I think you've got an entry point. All right, well, that's all for this week. Send your requests through. We get a lot of requests every week, but I'll try to include yours next Thursday for you.